I'd love for you to talk a little bit about your book. I know you have your newest book out right now, Provider Money, Pleasure Money. Yes. So I
Yes.
know we've been talking on this topic, and with my story, right? Provider versus
Hmm.
pleasure. So tell us a little bit about the book, why people should buy it, what we can get from it.
Yeah. So basically, I walk through each portion of your personal finances and explain how the provider energy and the pleasure energy work and interact in that portion of your finances. So let's just talk about income because that's an easy one to look at. When you're looking at your personal finances, whether you're single or you're married, and you look at, what is the income that we need for our provider needs. So, income and saving or income and spending are very closely correlated, right? So, when we look at what are the things that we absolutely need to pay for, our provider expenses, we need to make sure that our provider income matches that at least, right? But then we can also have some, not just pleasure spending, but we can also have income that's in more of that pleasure energy. So when we think about the provider income, it's like, this has to be the reliable stuff that comes in and month out, and it covers all our needs. But there can also be other streams of income that can be more pleasurable, and there's not necessarily pressure around it. So, for example, I love affiliate income. I don't count on it, but there are certain products and services that I love and that I use and that I'm happy to recommend to other people without pressure. So, for example, if I said, "Oh, Sabrina, like I just took this amazing course from this awesome coach. I think you'd totally love it. Here's the link if you're interested." I don't need you to buy that for me to pay my bills,
Okay.
right? So there's a totally different energy around that income. The same thing with the spending. It's like, if I'm going to buy, like, I love crystals. I have them all over the place. Like, obviously, this is not a provider need. This is a pleasure need. And so there's a different energy when I spend like that versus when I'm buying groceries. But these provider and pleasure energies are laced throughout everything, through our saving, through our investing. Um, we've got to be careful when we have that pleasure energy get too tied up into debt. So, there's definitely some subtleties for these energies and how they show up. And the great thing is there is a free reflection journal that you can access along with a meditation where you get to meet your inner provider king and pleasure queen who rule your financial kingdom. So that helps you with some of that unconscious reprogramming.
Like every person has a provider king and a pleasure queen.
Hmm.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes.
Very cool. Wow. Okay. I like that. Is
Yeah.
that gone over in the book?
Yeah. So if you go to providermoney.com, that's the landing page for the book. There's links to get it on Amazon. And then there's also the link to access the workbook and the meditation.
Awesome. And is that on your
Yeah.
website or Amazon? Where do we find that?
So it's for sale on Amazon. It's also part of Kindle Unlimited. And then the workbook and the meditation are on my website. So
Awesome. And then that is called Provider Money, Pleasure Money, the Energetics of Personal Finance.